Hey now, what's up guys? So I am a little surprised when I put it out there for people, my subscribers, to ask questions for a potential Q&A. I really didn't think I would get that many questions. Go figure. But I got a lot of questions from a lot of very cool people. First up, Marquise Anderson. His question, which comic book movie do you like more? Captain America, The Winter Soldier, or The Dark Knight? It's The Dark Knight. As much as I love The Winter Soldier, as much as it was my favorite movie of last year, The Dark Knight is always gonna be the benchmark of what superhero movies can be. And it has a lot to do with the fact that Batman is my favorite superhero. So when you present a film that's as great like that, it's not just a great comic book movie, it's a great movie in general. So it's going to be hard. And it's probably going to be a long time before I see a superhero film that, in my eyes, is better than The Dark Knight. Turtles fan 1990. What do you want to see in the Ninja Turtles film in 2016? What do you not want to see in the film? What do I want to see is I want to see Casey fucking Jones. I don't know why we didn't get him in that first film. Sure, you could say that there was so much going on in that movie. You had April O'Neil, you had Shredder, and you had even all the side characters, the minions who were working for Shredder. So how would you fit him in there? I don't know. But really, at the end of the day, if Casey Jones is not in this sequel, then it's a joke. It's a shame. It's going to ruin the series for me. I, for one, thought that the new Ninja Turtles movie was going to be shit. Some people hate it. I thought it was a lot better than I was expecting. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But if they don't put Casey Jones in the sequel, then I'm just going to say fuck you to this new series. Calum Lynch, have you played the Walking Dead game? Yes. In fact, I just replayed Season 1 of the game Walking Dead because I got a PS4, so I had to buy it on that to play it again. It's so lame that it's not backwards compatible. And replaying it this time, I loved it. I recorded a review for it that will be coming very soon. And I'm also, as we speak, in the middle of playing Walking Dead Season 2, Nerdsmerized. Keep doing what you do, you are the bomb. Very awesome. Question, what is your favorite movie trilogy of all time? Great question. There are plenty of great movie trilogies, and I'm sure if I say what my answer is, people are going to be pissed that it's not whatever they think is the best. It's my opinion. And I've already talked about this film, so it's going to sound like it's regurgitated, but the Dark Knight trilogy, I know, more Batman talk, more Christopher Nolan talk, more Dark Knight talk, but I think for anyone who has seen my reviews for those films or just me talking about Batman in general, I love those three movies with a passion. WWE fan 0599, can we see more game reviews? Yes, I said before that I'm gonna do that review, or I've recorded that review for The Walking Dead. I'm gonna do a review for The Walking Dead Season 2 game. I recorded a review for The Last of Us video game because I just got done playing that. Very exciting. I guess the reason why you don't see me do more video game reviews is that I don't buy a whole lot of video games. I don't have as much time, and they're pretty expensive for me to just go out and take a chance. Usually when I buy games, it's games that I know for a fact I'm going to love. Like Arkham Knight, which is coming out. Totally going to buy that. But is there really anything else that I'm interested in this year? Not really. And I'm sure there's some good games that are coming out, but I'm not the biggest gamer. Chucky Herrera. Don't you go to a director/movie college? I think I heard you say something about it, or maybe I'm just nuts. No, you're not nuts. I did go to film school, and I got my associate's degree. I still need to go back and get my bachelor's, so hopefully within the next year or two that will happen. Joker Donnie, do you have any guilty pleasure movies? Yes, I have a ton of those. Obviously, Prom Night, I did a review on that, and I ranted about it, saying how bad it was, but I also said that I enjoyed it. Jennifer's Body, that's a film that I hate calling it a guilty pleasure, because I like it as its own, but everybody else and their mom hates it. I still haven't met, like, one person who likes that movie, at least as much as I do. The sequel to Silent Hill, Revelations, I like that. That got a lot of shit. Cody Rietzma. Just curious, what do you do for a living if you're willing to answer? You know what? If I had got this question, or if I did this like 4 months ago, I totally would have answered this. But the reason why I don't really want to is because a couple months ago, because every once in a while I get messages or I get things from people on YouTube or even people on Facebook, find me on Facebook. And we talk and I meet friends and it's cool, no big deal. But a couple months ago, this one person, a girl, she found my Facebook, messaged me, and we talked a little back and forth. It was fine at first, you know. And then all of a sudden, she, like, found out where I worked, found out where I lived, and got my number. So that was a little awkward, to say the least. And I'm still in the middle of, like, dealing with that. So as far as, like, really personal type questions, I feel a little weird about it. Pretty much just because that happened recently. Alright, Melissa Perez, what is your opinion on lack of originality when it comes to horror nowadays? Do you think this will improve, or is the genre doomed? Wow, that's a good question. The lack of originality, I mean, in a sense, I could rant and I could rave about how much shit horror is nowadays and how it's not original, like you said, how it's all either remakes or it's part 9 of a series, or if it's just a plot that you've seen dozens and dozens of times, like Possession or Demons and shit. The only thing I can say about that is that they've made so many original horror films from the 70s, 80s, 90s that it's hard, I admit, it's hard to think of new, creative, original stuff, especially stuff that's gonna work or fit or be marketable. Recently I watched The Babadook, and that's a pretty original movie, kind of. I mean, there's some probably cases or influence from Nightmare on Elm Street or little stuff like that, but stuff like that I like. I'd rather a little bit of ideas from a few different things put together into this brand new original thing than the constant remakes or the constant sequels of films that I don't care about. I like sequels, but sometimes when the franchise is so big, like when I hear that they're going to bring back Saw, it's like, well, really? You guys ended it. I know the same thing happened for Friday the 13th. They made a final chapter and then they kept going. But, I don't know. Do I think the genre is doomed? Not really. Especially because nowadays, their horror movies are made for so cheap that they're never going to really bomb. Unless you get a horror movie where a lot of money is put into it, then it could bomb. But lately, nowadays, you get horror movies, like Ouija. Ouija cost maybe $4 million to make. And it made over 20 in the opening weekend. And who knows how many it made when all was said and done, but that's a lot. So you're going to have more horror movies like that are cheap and will still make a profit. So doomed, no. But as far as creatively and good scripts, it might be doomed. It sucks. Dr. Giggles, I'm curious to hear your view on my and my daughter's favorite sitcom of all time, The Big Bang Theory. I've seen some funny shows, Frasier, Monk, Seinfeld, and 60s Batman, but this is the funniest show of all time. You ever see it? If not, you need to. I swear you'll yourself to a heart attack. Laugh yourself to a heart attack, I think. He said, no, I've never watched The Big Bang Theory. I mean, I hear that it's very, like, comic book oriented, or at least the characters on the show are into that stuff. A friend of mine is very big on the show, and he's been hounding me to watch it. It's just, I don't know. I don't really... It doesn't look like a show that I am immediately so quick to want to watch. I just started American Horror Story. Chris Roca, 8. Hey, buddy, keep up the good work. I got a few questions and one request. Number 1, what do you think of Matt Rambo Raff for Life and Mike OCP Communications? Rambo Raff for Life, I love his videos. I've been watching that guy for years, since before I even started my YouTube channel. He's one of the YouTubers that got me interested in making videos, and I still check his channel out. Mike OCP Communications, I only really know of him through Rambo Raff Life. They do a lot of collaboration stuff. I've maybe only watched a handful of his videos, but he's very negative. Like, he hates everything. And that's fine, you know? I mean, that's his opinion. If he doesn't like things, he doesn't have to pretend to. But so I don't really watch his stuff as much. Number 2, how old are you? I'm 26. Number 3, how many Blu-ray movies do you have, and can you do a Blu-ray collection video? I think what I like to buy the most are the Blu-ray DVD combos, because then that way I can have both. But I try to buy Blu-rays of movies that, like, deserve or warrant a Blu-ray, like superhero movies, action films that the special effects are heavy, so Blu-rays are the best way to watch them. If they're a movie like a drama or something that there's no real reason to watch it on Blu-ray, and DVD is cheaper, I buy them on there. So, but I couldn't tell you how many. I've never counted. Can I do a Blu-ray collection video? Yeah, sure. I've done a DVD collection video, but if you want me to just do, like, specifically Blu-ray, maybe I'll do that. Kevin Alta Marino, are you ever going to cut your hair? I don't know. Should I? Yeah, one day. I don't know. It's not tomorrow. But yeah, probably one day. Scotty Man 2, who is somebody who has been with my channel, I feel like, forever. So you're awesome. I appreciate a lot of people who have been with me for years. Was there a movie that was so horrible that you just walked out or just never finished watching? God, I mean, I want to say yeah. But mostly, like, nowadays when I go to a movie screening, they're free. So there's been some really shitty movies, but since I might want to review it, or since it is free, I kind of say to myself, well, I'll sit and stay here and at least see how it ends, if maybe it gets any better. Like a week ago, I will say that there was a movie screening for this movie, The Duff, which I knew nothing about beforehand. My friend and I went to go see it. We didn't leave because the movie was, like, so horrible, but we left a half hour in because the original plan was to go sneak in to see Exodus. So we did that. The movie itself, though, I don't think it was bad enough. It's just that's the last movie I can think of. Besides that, maybe on TV, if I happen to be flicking by and, like, a Tyler Perry movie's on, I have no interest in that, so that I won't sit through or watch all the way through. Pushin Batachera, I probably completely butchered that, I'm sorry. I really enjoyed your reviews of Spider-Man animated series episodes. Thank you. That was very much fun doing that. Question, what's your favorite John Carpenter film? I'm going to say The Thing. The Thing is one of the most disturbing, creepy, and just genuinely scary films that I've seen, ever. And I know when you think of John Carpenter, you think of Halloween, especially that original, which is a classic, and it's what helped turn Michael Myers or make him that shape of a character that's so creepy. But when I think of his best film, it's The Thing. Tyler Schoen. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on the announcement of an Evil Dead TV series starring Bruce Campbell? I've heard about that. That sounds pretty interesting. I mean, it's so weird though, right? Because the remake came out 2 years ago now, and I thought the remake was okay. I didn't think it was bad, and it made a shit ton of money. But yet they never did a sequel to it, and there's no talks at all of doing a sequel, I guess. I was a little bit more curious on them maybe merging the new continuity or new film with the old stuff, since Bruce Campbell was in that after credits thing. But hey, I will definitely watch the TV series, especially because Bruce Campbell is involved. I don't know if he'll be like the older Ash who is like, not the mentor, but the guy who's going to know what's going on. So if this happens to a new group, they find him or go to him for help, or maybe, who knows? Who knows what's going to be about? I have no idea. But why not? I'm interested. What's your favorite movie? The Dark Knight. Again. What movie series do you think is the most deserving to be revived to make more sequels? And which series do you think needs to stop with sequels? Wow. Which movie series do you think deserves to be revived for more sequels? That's a good question. I would say Predator. If you think about it, we've only had, I guess 3 movies, if you count Predators. But I was going to say you only had those 2 movies, which I love, both of them. But we never, I don't know why they never continued it. I guess you could count the Alien vs. Predator as sequels to the Predator movies, but I just don't really, for some reason. I don't even think of them like that. I would love to see Predator get a sequel, especially since Arnold Schwarzenegger is legit back in acting, and he's going to be doing sequels to some of his old films. Predator is the first one I think should be priority, not Terminator. Which series do I think needs to stop with sequels? Paranormal Activity. I'm over it. I like the first 3, but at this point, I think there's a 6th one coming out. I'm over it. Caleb Lynch, again, what is your top 20 favorite Rambo Raft Life rant videos? Top 20? I don't know. I don't even know if I could think of 20 like off the top of my head. I mean, there was his rant on the Nightmare on Elm Street remake that I liked. Even his rant on movies that I like, I think are funny, like the X-Men First Class rant. I remember he ranted on all of the Dark Knight movies, which are my favorite, but I still watch them. Top 20 favorite of his rants? I don't know. All right. Chris Luden, do you have any Quentin Tarantino movies on Blu-ray and or DVD? If so, what are they and what is your favorite? What is your guilty pleasure movie besides Prom Night? Well, I answered the guilty pleasure movie, but Prom Night, I mean, that's just the first one I could think of. Quentin Tarantino movies? Yeah, I have almost all of them, I'm pretty sure. Like, Blu-ray though, I don't think I have them on Blu-ray. I think I have them all on DVD. My favorite, Pulp Fiction. If you were a mutant, what mutant power would you have? Would you join the X-Men or the Brotherhood? Great question. All right. This is also from Chris Luden. If I was a mutant, I would want, I guess, Wolverine's power, because he doesn't age. He's virtually indestructible. Even if you say Wolverine pre-Weapon X, he still doesn't age, and he still heals himself. He just has bone claws and whatnot. There's really nothing I wouldn't want from Wolverine's powers. And who would I join? I probably would join the Brotherhood. As much as I love the X-Men, as much as I love Professor X, the Brotherhood, I always thought that Magneto's cause was justified. He hates humans because, especially his past, the Holocaust. And humans, in those movies and in the comics, are dicks to mutants. And the last couple of questions are from Marquise Anderson again. Will you ever review animated movies in... Alright, well, let me answer that first. Animated movies. Yes. I don't really watch them a whole lot, like new ones. If I get screenings to an animated movie, it's very rare that I go because they're early in the morning on the weekends, and it's like, well, am I really gonna get up early on a Saturday morning to see an animated film? Probably not. But I do want to like go back and watch like the classic ones, the classic Disney and Pixar movies, and review them just because I haven't done them, especially the ones that I love. And who knows, if I get in the mood, maybe I will like go and review the animated movies that I haven't watched yet, that I hear good things about. Because believe it or not, I still haven't seen The Incredibles. I know, it's horrible, because I hear such great things about it. I can tell I probably would like it, and I think there's a sequel coming out, so I definitely have to do that pretty soon. If you wrote a screenplay for a movie, what genre would it be, and what director would you want to direct it? I mean, wishful thinking, ideally a superhero movie. It's my favorite genre, which I guess you can call superhero movies genres now. But more realistically, something that would be quicker and easier for me to do, because I do write random scripts kind of just for fun. Horror is something I'm actually like almost done writing this script for this movie called His Name Was Craven. Horror film that is basically just a slasher, teens getting killed in a cabin in the woods. I mean, it might sound cliche, but slashers like that you don't really get anymore. It's not until you probably stop and think, like, yeah, you know what? When was the last time a slasher horror film was in the theater? Because if you ever get any, they're usually direct to DVD. And it's not to say that those don't matter or don't count, but people don't know about them. They don't talk about them. Which director? Well, if it's a horror movie, then Eli Roth. Either Eli Roth or James Wan. But James Wan, I guess, is not directing horror movies anymore. So if that's the case, then Eli Roth. If it's a superhero movie, I'm not going to say Christopher Nolan, don't worry. Because I like Nolan as a director. But I would want more of a fun, Marvel-esque type of superhero movie. And the first two things that come to mind, Edgar Wright, since that whole thing with Ant-Man fell through, and I was more than fascinated to see how that would have been. Or Jon Favreau, because I really liked him doing the Iron Man movies. I like him as a director. I think he has a good sense of humor. What movie are you most excited out of the Marvel Phase 3 lineup? And the DC lineup? And whatever they may be, which do you think will be better? Okay. So out of the Marvel Phase 3 lineup, I mean, as much as I'm looking forward to the Infinity War, I very much am looking forward to that. Civil War is the movie that I'm most looking forward to. I so can't believe that this movie is happening. It's a story that I never thought, and it's funny to say that now because I feel like I'm hearing myself say that a lot when it comes to Marvel or these superhero movies, is that, wow, I didn't expect them to do this. But now they're doing them. And I can't wait to see how they portray the story in one movie while not having every available character like Spider-Man, I guess. I don't really know what's going on with the whole Spider-Man stuff. Or the Fantastic Four is not involved, the X-Men's not involved, so that doesn't worry me. It might actually make it better that it is more intimate and condensed and not so over-the-top crazy. But yeah, Civil War, I love the fact that I don't have to wait as long for Civil War also. Infinity War is like 3 years away, 4 years away, so I'm not really thinking a whole lot about it. But out of the DC lineup, it's got to be Batman versus Superman. Yeah, it's the first time ever in live action that these two big, super, ultra, mega superhero characters are in a movie together. And whether it's good or not, you know it's going to make huge, huge money. I'd be shocked if it doesn't. But I will say that a close second for the DC is Suicide Squad. Not even Justice League. Suicide Squad I'm most interested about because it's so different. It's probably the biggest risk that DC is taking, and I'm very surprised that they're doing it. I cannot wait to see Harley Quinn on screen for the first time in live action, not counting Birds of Prey. I can't wait for that, and I can't wait for Jared Leto as the Joker. That is going to be epic. Now, I guess between Civil War and Batman vs. Superman, which one do I think is going to be better? Civil War. I trust Marvel way too much. I'm not bashing DC. I'm not saying that Batman vs. Superman is even going to be bad. I can't judge it like that before I even see a trailer or see the movie. I'm just saying that I trust Marvel completely. And it's just, Civil War is one of the biggest superhero movies that I'm looking forward to. What is your favorite action movie sequel of all time? Sequel? For some reason, the first movie that came to mind was Die Hard 2. Because I just love the Die Hard movies, but especially the first two. And that second one is more than a worthy sequel for Die Hard. I don't know if there's anything else I can think of. Number 3, what are your favorite actors and actresses? That's a good question. Of all time, Jack Nicholson. My favorite actress of all time? See, actresses is harder because when I think of actresses, I think of more recently. I can't really think of actresses that I love from the past. I know that some people might expect me to say Megan Fox just because I love her and she's hot, but I mean, I admit she's not like the greatest actress. I don't think she's bad, but she wouldn't be my favorite actress. I'm just gonna say Scarlett Johansson. I know somebody's gonna name 5 or 10 actresses that I probably should have said besides her, but I might have to do like a top 10 list of that. Top 10 favorite actors, top 10 favorite actresses. Maybe I can give you a better answer. So, wow. That was it. That is my Q&A. That was fun. Thank you to everybody who left questions. As far as the movie reviews requests, because I've gotten so many of those, like even going through these comments, a majority of them are requests. So since I see that the demand is there, I will definitely be doing a lot of these requests. I mean, I'm not going to do all of them like right now, obviously, but I'm definitely going to do the ones that either interest me the most or the ones of movies that were already on my to-do list, like Ghostbusters, like Toy Story, like the Rambo movies, Fight Club, Indiana Jones. A lot of these movies I'm seeing. So stay tuned for those reviews. Thanks so much for being a subscriber. You guys are awesome. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!